Now we want to talk about slot group quantity. Let's assume we have here some trainees and we have our instructor teaching these trainees. But what if we have many more students? In this case, it might be necessary to have an additional instructor. So the number of instructors may depend on the number of trainees. And I want to show you how this can be done in Mint. Okay, here we go. In this example, I want to create now a rule that says if we have more than 4 students, 4 trainees, we need a second instructor. So from 1 to 3 students, we need 1 instructor. But if we have more than 4 students, we need a second instructor. The first thing that you have to do is you have to create a work rule. So we go to the tree management page. We select the work rules. And let's say, for example, we first create a new work rule folder for our instructors. Instructor. This is just to organize them a little bit better. And then under instructor, we create a work rule. In this case, we have an abstract work rule. Abstract work rules are work rules that are not assigned to an individual or to an organization like all the other work rules. So they are in place everywhere where it makes sense. You do not have to assign them to an individual, to any instructor. This is not necessary for an abstract work rule. I select this one. I give it a meaningful name, dynamic slot more than 4, so that we know what is this, and then we click on work rule configuration. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to select from our work rule types which work rule type we are talking about, and it is the dynamic slot group quantity that you have to select here. That is the new rule type that you have to select. Okay, so next it opens this window. First of all is again we give this configuration a meaningful name again. Let's say that more than 4. And now we have to tell what are the slot group types that are affected here. Oh, we know it's trainees, right? And the important thing is this. We click on new and we say assigned in related slot groups. If we have 1 or more, we need 1 instructor. And again new, if we have 4 or more, we need 2 instructors. This is what you have to do here. Of course, you can have more entries here. So it's highly flexible. Okay, we click on OK, and now we created this new abstract work rule. That's what we did. I click on OK. So that's the first part. Now this is available as a dynamic slot group quantity wherever we need that. But it is a property. We treat it as a property because see here, if we go to the products page and we design a curriculum that where we want to use that, then you need the property there. So if we don't have it, it looks like this. You go on this instructor. For example, this is the instructor where we want to have this behavior. Let's say we have more than 4 students, we need a second one. But if you double click here, so if you edit this instructor slot group, there's no way to do that. So we have to activate this property first. And I show you how that looks like. To say properties, slot group properties. If the property is not there, we have to create it so we call it dynamic quantity, and it is of type work rule. And here you go and say preferences used to define a dynamic slots quantity. That is what you have to do. The first step, apply, and now we activate that. So let's say we need that for our demo category, for our maintenance trainings, right? Here we go, for example, and we say we activate it. Now this property is available for all our technical trainings. Apply. That's all. Now I go again into this class. It was this maintenance training. We go in here and it is a very simple class. We only have an instructor and the students. right? So the instructor is there. I added this slot group, and you can see now we have this dynamic quantity. So I go in and I select the work rule that we just created, this one. So now we have more than 4. If you still have a value here, this is now the absolute minimum. So it will never put less than what you have in here. That is the preparation. We click on OK, and you can see it is now a dynamic quantity. Let's see how that looks like. I say OK, and on the Mint page, we schedule now such a class. New, request, just one. I think that's fine. A320 in Kiel. Good. Okay, maintenance class, let's call it MM class. And we say this class must start tomorrow. I think that's all. We don't need anything else. So we created this request. And what I want to do now is I want to put on this request already 5, or let's say 3 mechanics. I want to put on this request 3 mechanics. Here we are. So we can make this a little bit smaller so that you can see that. Assign. So now we have our 3 students there. And now we schedule this one. So 3 students, create project with 3 students. We select all the slot groups. It's just the instructor, schedule, automatic scheduling, and all 60 slots were filled. We can see now, if we go to project start, here we are, and we see, well, I click in here, that we have 1 instructor. That's correct, right? 3 students. Now I go and say, I add 2 more students, then we have 5, so which is more than 4, and then we will see how that looks like. So I go and say, let's add 2 more students, assign, and if we open this, you can see we have warnings here, right? What is the warning that we have here? Let's show a hint. The warning is conflicts assign resource rules. That means we need another instructor. The system tells us this. So what we do is manage resources, assign, and apply. And now the system tells us that it assigns for another 15 slots the instructor. And we can see that we now have 2 instructors on this class. This is how it looks like.